The Luthra brothers have been nabbed in Thailand. We'll now take you through the latest developments so far. Now, after 4 days of evading the law, Delhi brothers Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, who fled India after a fire at the nightclub in Goa, left 25 people dead. They have now been detained in Thailand. They are seen with their hands tied and holding their passports as they stand next to local police officers in 2 separate photos. That's the picture on your screens right now. They're likely to be deported today. That's within the next 24 hours to India. Then a blue corner notice against the Luthra brothers has now been accessed. The notice declares the Luthras as persons of interest in a major crime probe, and sources confirm the blue corner alert helped track them down in Thailand. A network of 42 shell companies registered to a single address in North Delhi raised suspicion of money laundering and tax evasion. Now, apart from the Luthra brothers being detained, Ajay Gupta, who has been remanded to 7 days of police custody by the Mapusa Magistrate Court. The report highlights the alleged negligence and illegal operations of the club. Sources close to NDTV also reveal that the Luthra brothers accepted to immigration officials about the fire incident at their club Birch by Romeo Lane. However, they did not accept that they fled the country. As of now, as the probe deepens, Goa police has now intensified search for Birch Club landowner Surendra Khosla, who is still absconding. Police believe he may hold legal liability related to building permissions, structural safety compliance and leasing terms. Khosla allegedly ignored irregularities or allowed commercial operation without approvals. Let's now take you through the latest revelations. First up, of course, Luthra brothers have now been detained in Thailand. The Luthra brothers will be deported to India within a span of next 24 hours. Apart from that, a blue corner notice has also been accessed against the Luthra brothers, which helped track them down, Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, in Thailand. Apart from that, the passport law was used to track down the Luthra brothers after invoking Section 10A of the passport law. Then, 42 companies of Luthra's brothers have now come under the lens, which perhaps raised suspicion about tax evasion and money laundering. Lastly, with the fire at the Birch Romeo Lane Club in North Goa, the latest diktat issued is that fireworks has now been banned at various nightclubs in North Goa. All right. Moving on and staying on with this story, the law has finally caught up with the Luthra brothers, owners of the nightclub in Goa, where 25 people died in a fire incident over the weekend. Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra were detained in Thailand today. According to sources, immigration officials have begun questioning Luthras and quizzing them about their role in the Goa fire, as well as the purpose of their visit to Thailand. The Goa government has accused the Luthra brothers of purposely fleeing from the country and also misleading the court with bogus medical claims. The Luthras have denied this, claiming that they have a history of booking last-minute flights. They also said that they were not present at the club at the time of the fire, saying that the blame is being put on them as if they were the ones to set the fire, saying that they are humans too. The Luthras' business is also under lens with the latest revelation that 42 companies are linked to a single address, raising concerns of money laundering. All of that, some breaking news coming in on this very story at this point of time. A high-level meeting has been called at the Chief Minister's residence of Goa to discuss the further plan of action. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant, DGP Alok Kumar, DIG Varsha Verma and several others have arrived for the meeting. This after the Luthra brothers were detained in Thailand. The latest coming in is that the Goa Chief Minister clearly said that no stones will be left unturned in getting the Luthra brothers back to India. The latest coming in is that there's a high-level meeting that is taking place, that is currently underway at Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant's residence. And for more on this, my colleague Paras Dama is now joining me live. Paras, you're joining me live from outside the residence of the Chief Minister of Goa. What's the latest that you can add to this with the high-level meeting taking place at this point of time at the Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant's residence on the Luthra brothers case?
Rightly said, it's a very important meeting which has taken place at the official residence of CM Goa Pramod Sawant, and in this entire high-level meeting there are some of the official points and very important points should have been discussed. How to bring back this two fugitive who ran out of the country after the fire which took place at a club in Goa. So this is possibly a meeting of strategy making, how Goa police will plan to bring this both accused to India, because they have been detained in Thailand, and after that the preparation has already been started. There must be many other points in this entire meeting, because the DGP of Goa was also present, DIG of Goa was also present, and many other officials was also present in this high level meeting. If you see in the visuals, this is the official residence of Goa CM Pramod Sawant, and it's been more than 1.5 hours when this whole entire meeting started, and still it's on. By any time this meeting can be over, and after that the CM of Goa Pramod Sawant can brief media why this high level meeting was called and what's the plan of action now will be done by Goa government in this entire matter, because there are total number of 6 arrests has been already made in this entire situation which created a few days ago at a club in Goa. Now the major 2 accused in this matter are detained in Thailand, and there are process which has already started to bring them back to Goa. And over here there are many possibilities that the strategy making has already been started, and that's why this high level meeting has been called. We have to wait for a few more minutes. By that time CM Goa will come outside and they will brief the media about the meeting that has happened right now.
Right, Paras. Of course, we'll be tracking that high-level meeting at the Goa Chief Minister's residence very closely with you. But for now, I also have my colleague Ishika now joining me live. Ishika is joining me live from outside the Rohini court. Ishika, the latest coming at this point of time is that the court has reserved the verdict in bail plea of the Luthra brothers, and the court will pronounce the order at 5:30 p.m. today. What are you catching up on this very case at this point of time? Because you're joining us live from outside the Rohini court.
Well, Raisha, as you rightly mentioned, we are expecting that the order that has been reserved, will be shortly pronounced, and we are currently outside the Rohini court. But while we wait for the order, let us go back to the kind of discussion, rather arguments from both the sides that we saw today. Now, today, the Goa Council made it very clear in the court, on the basis of their arguments, that whatever the Luthra brothers are saying in their arguments are clear, bogus and plain lies. They go on to say, Goa Council goes on to say that there was no medical illness related to Luthra brothers. They did not even go and visit a doctor. In fact, the pills that we are talking about, they were only taken by Luthra brothers for cosmetic purposes. Not just that, let me tell you that the Goa Council today said in the court that in fact after the incident happened, 40 minutes after that, the Luthra brothers booked the ticket and then they decided to flee the country. Now, the cost at that last-minute ticket was also huge. So they go on to say that the argument that was made by the Luthra brothers that they are going to Thailand for a business meeting are all lies. So Goa Council today has argued in the court that the Luthra Luthra brothers should not be given any anticipatory bail because they have, only spoken lies, that too on oath. Now, while in fact, if we talk about the response that rather came from, in fact, the Luthra side, the counsel said, rather cried for sympathy in the court, going on to say that the Luthra brothers are humans too. They are getting death threats from social media and they were only for, business purposes. There is a threat to life, is what the Luthra brothers said today in the court, clearly wanting the court to take all of this into consideration. But we have to see that the Goa police has today made very strong arguments. So what will the order be is something that the entire country is waiting for. Over to you.
Right, Ishika. Just to add to what you said, the court clearly said that the Luthra brothers purposely fled India after the blaze and they should not be granted transit anticipatory bail. Ishika joining us live from outside the Rohini court and tracking all that's happening there. I request you to stay with us until my colleague Akhil joins me live from Goa. But before we go to our reporters again who are fanned across India tracking the story, let's now tell you how the Luthra brothers were nabbed. Now, the Luthra brothers, first, their passports were suspended. Then, the Luthra stay in Thailand became illegal because the passport was used to corner the Luthra brothers and made their stay in Thailand illegal. Thailand government then detained them under that very provision. Next, sources tell NDTV that the Luthra brothers will be detained from Thailand back to India in a span of next 24 hours, with the Indian officials all set to visit Thailand in the next few hours or so. And the Indian officials will get the Luthra brothers back to India after they were detained in Thailand. That's after 4 days of evading law and order and after the fire, the blaze that took place at the Birch Romeo Lane club in North Goa. Ishika, you're still here with us. All right, Ishika, before I talk to you more about the court proceedings, let's also now tell you how the centre used the passport route to trap the Luthras. First up, passport was used to as suspension used as trap. First up, Section 10A was invoked to suspend the Luthras' passports. Then, now Section 10A, it restricts international travel, which was one of the cornerstones as to how both the Luthra brothers were detained. Apart from this, a blue corner notice was issued by the CBI, which has been accessed by NDTV. The passport suspension made their stay in Thailand illegal. Indian and Thai agencies then coordinated to detain the Luthra brothers there in Thailand. The Indian officials flying to Thailand in the next few hours to bring the Luthra brothers back. As we've been telling you here on NDTV that the Luthra brothers will be deported in the next 24 hours. Listen in to the additional public prosecutor Atul Srivastava on the anticipatory bail pleas of Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra.
It was not a bail application, regular bail application. It was a temporary transit anticipatory bail through which they had asked for, okay, I should be protected and I will be going to Goa and I will submit to their jurisdiction. On this aspect, they have argued extensively and this argument has been made by their counsel as well as Mr. Mukherjee and me. And we have argued and we have submitted before the court that this application is not maintainable here. It should go and submit before the jurisdiction of Goa High Court or Goa Court.
Sir, the accused counsel also apprehend the threat to the life of the accused persons in Goa. So what were your rebuttal arguments?
So it was his mere apprehension. We have shown that till date many other persons have also been arrested and nobody has made any allegation nor any such incident has taken place. So it is mere an apprehension. That's it, I would say.
He also said that the properties of the accused person have been bulldozed by post the incident.
So Mr. Mukherjee has also already answered to it. It was in due process of law.
So when order is going to be out?
Sir, Judge Sahiba has already said it will be today itself by 5 p.m.
All our reporters are fanned across India are tracking this case very closely. My colleague Ishika is still here with us. She's joining us live from outside the Rohini Court. I also have with us Akhil, who's joining me live from Goa. Akhil, first up to you. The latest coming in is that there's a high-level meet taking place at the Goa Chief Minister's residence. Get us up to speed on that. And also the fact that the Goa police, they have formed various teams to locate the Goa club landowner at this point of time. All right, before we come across to you, Akhil, the Goa Chief Minister's bite has come in after the high-stakes meet. Listen in.
की टीम और सेंट्रल एजेंसीज के टीम के द्वारा यानी वहाँ से जो डिटेन किए दोनों जो क्लब ओनर्स हैं उनको वो गोवा में लाएंगे। जो मैंने खुद होके कहा था कि उनको जितना जल्दी हो सके उतना जल्दी हम बिहाइंड द बार्स उनको डालेंगे और इसीलिए उनको बहुत ही जल्दी हम गोवा में लेके आएंगे और इनके खिलाफ जो सख्त कार्रवाई जो कानून की तरफ से करना है वो सख्त कार्रवाई करेंगे। यानी आज भी हम कहते हैं कि मैं फास्ट ट्रैक तरीके से इस तरह से पुलिस और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की टीम ने काम किया है। मैं बहुत ही आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के सभी एजेंसीज की उनके सहकार्य से इट इज़ पॉसिबल हुआ। जितनी सख्त कार्रवाई इनके खिलाफ और बाकी जो लोग बचे हैं उनकी भी पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन चालू है। मुझे लगता है कि जो 25 लोगों की जो मौत है उनको न्याय देने का काम हमारी सरकार करेगी।
Right, and that was the Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant who gave us his first bite, his first statement after the high-stakes meet there. He said that the club owners who have been detained in Thailand will be brought back to Goa, and there will be strict action, strict inquiry, which will be taken against the Luthra brothers after they were detained in Thailand. The Goa Chief Minister asserted that fast-tracked action by the police officers and the Thailand officials led to the detention of the Luthra brothers, who are right now in Thailand but will be deported back to India in the next 24 hours. Akhil, you're joining me live from Goa at this point of time. What's the latest that you are tracking right now with that big statement from the Goa Chief Minister who says that the Luthra brothers will be brought to Goa soon?
That's right, Rahesha. If you see, since the beginning, we have broken this story in which what we have got to know from the Goa police team that there are 9 key suspects in this case who have got the information regarding that how this club was functional. And if you see, out of those 9 individuals, what we have seen that 6 persons have been so far arrested by the Goa police team, and 2 persons have been.
Akhil, I'll have to stop you there because we are getting the Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant's bite right now of the high-stakes meet. Just take a listen.
दिन सुबह जो इंडिया छोड़ के थाईलैंड चले गए थे, इनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करते वक्त हमारे गोवा पुलिस ने उनके एलओसी खोली, उनको ब्लू कॉर्नर नोटिस जारी की और रीजनल पासपोर्ट ऑफिस को उनका पासपोर्ट कैंसिलेशन करने के लिए भी हमने डाला। विद द हेल्प ऑफ द मिनिस्टर ऑफ द एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स और द मिनिस्टर ऑफ द होम हमने उनको आज थाईलैंड में डिटेन किया है। विद इन अ शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ अ टाइम द गोवा पुलिस की टीम और द सीबीआई गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के सहकार्य से उसको थाईलैंड से गोवा लेके आएंगे। मैंने जो कहा था कि इनको विद इन द शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ अ टाइम हम इनको अरेस्ट करके गोवा लेके आएंगे। मैं जिन एजेंसियों का मदद हुई है उन सब का मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, क्योंकि इन्होंने प्रॉम्प्ट रीत्या इतने बहुत ही विद इन अ शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ अ टाइम उन्होंने प्रॉम्प्ट केस क्रैकडाउन की है। बस इतना ही नहीं, जो 3 ऑफिसर्स को हमने सस्पेंड किया था, जो 2 ऑफिसर्स कोऑपरेट कर रहे हैं, इनमें से जो एक ऑफिसर्स कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहा है, मुझे लगता है कि पुलिस लगा तो उसको कल तक उसको भी हम अरेस्ट करेंगे। इफ़ ही इज़ नॉट कोऑपरेटिंग, उसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन अच्छी तरह से चलती रहेगी। बाकी एजेंसीज जिनको यानी मजिस्ट्रियल इंक्वायरी इसका रिपोर्ट चल रहा है, उसका रिपोर्ट आते ही उसके ऊपर हम एक्शन लेंगे। मैं फिर एक बार यानी हमारी गोवा पुलिस और द मिनिस्टर ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स, होम अफेयर्स, मैंने खुद होके होम मिनिस्टर्स इवन दो द पीएम ने कंसर्न व्यक्त किया था इसके बारे में, यानी पहले ही दिन ऑनरेबल पीएम हैड टू कॉल मी और उसके बारे में इंक्वायरी उन्होंने की थी। खुद होम मिनिस्टर ने इस इंसिडेंट के बाद यानी बाकी सबकी इंक्वायरी खुद कर रहे थे। मैं सभी का बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, क्योंकि उनको लाने के लिए द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और हमारे पुलिस ने बहुत ही अच्छा काम किया है। मुझे लगता है कि जितना जल्दी हो सके तो गोवा पुलिस और CBI और बाकी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की एजेंसीज इनको लेके बहुत ही जल्दी गोवा में आएंगे। उनके ऊपर स्ट्रिक्ट कार्रवाई करते वक्त उनको हम बिहाइंड द बार डालेंगे।
कब तक ले आएंगे सर? कब तक लाएंगे?
मुझे लगता है कि जितना जल्दी हो सके उतना जल्दी हम उनको यहाँ से लाएंगे।
गोवा पुलिस की टीम जाएगी सर, थाईलैंड जाएगी? गोवा
पुलिस और CBI की टीम वहाँ से जाएगी। ऑन द सेम केसीस जी केस हांगासर जाल्ली ताज्या बेसिसीर थायलंड पुलिसांक कळयल्या उपरांत तांच्यानी तांकां डिटेन केल्ले आसा।
सेम गोंया ह्या पळय ते एक सील मारला म्हणून आयकपाक येता वचून ते कितें हे बीन गावला तितून क्लब आहा ते गोंया
तांचो जो दुसरो क्लब आशिल्लो ताजेर वायोलेशन आशिल्लें जे वायोलेशन दे हॅव एनक्रोच्ड इन अवर टुरिजम प्रॉपर्टी, दे हॅव वायोलेटेड समथिंग CRZ that we have demolished. Henceforth, this type of CRZ violation or encroachment in our property will not tolerate.
Right, Akhil, back to you. That was the Goa Chief Minister clearly asserting that the Luthra brothers will be brought back to India, will be brought back to Goa specifically, and that there will be strict action taken against them. Over to you. What are you catching at this point of time after the high-stakes meet at Pramod Sawant's residence at this point of time? Akhil.
That's right, Rahesha. If you see, we have broken this 3 hours back that a team of the Goa police is already on a standby. The moment they will get the approvals from the senior authorities, that team will move towards Phuket. So right now, if you see, that team is already on a standby and waiting for the officials to complete the official procedure over there so that this team can move from Goa towards Phuket. Apart from that, if you see, as the case probe has deepened, what we have seen that one more individual out of those 9 individuals for whom the Goa police were looking at, if you see one more individual who has been identified as Surinder Khosla, who is the owner of that very place, is still at large. So the Goa police team is making efforts to nab that very individual person who is still at large. What we have got the information that multiple teams have been formed to nab that very accused, because he was also one of the persons involved in this case, because he was a person who knows that there were several compliances which have been missed and due to which this unfortunate tragedy took place, in which what we have seen that 25 lives have been lost. Back to you.
Right, Akhil. Ishika, are you still here with us? What are you catching up from outside the Rohini court after the anticipatory bail plea of the Luthra brothers was rejected? Earlier we were talking and we were clearly speaking on how the court will pronounce the order at 5:30 p.m. But what are you catching up at this point of time?
Well, Raisha, we are still waiting because it is any time now that the court can pronounce the order on this anticipatory bail. But in fact, as we were talking, Raisha, that today the Goa Council has made it very clear that, in fact, the Luthra brothers, they were in fact in loop as to what was happening. In fact, at the time the incident happened, the fire tragedy took place, they were informed, and that is when 40 minutes later, they booked the tickets to flee the country. So the Goa Council has made it very clear that they were absconding. Their intention was to evade the law, and that is what is in fact also seen in the proofs, because their mobile phones were switched off. If we talk about his mother, their mother's answers was also very evasive, is what the Goa Council today has said. While on the other hand, if you look at today the arguments that have been presented by the Luthra brothers, they have gone on to say, and in fact, put that sympathy image in front of the court, that there is a threat to life. There's a fear for life here for the Luthra brothers. They were wanting to return back to the country, emphasizing again and again that they were only there in Thailand for a business meeting. But all comes down to what the court will now pronounce the order, because we have heard the arguments from both the sides, and certainly in just few minutes now, we are expecting that the court will be delivering this very important judgment. Over to you.
Ishika, we'll of course be tracking that verdict with you closely. Akhil, coming to you. Earlier you were talking about how Surinder Khosla is also now under the lens. This after the Goa police teams, they formed various teams to locate the Goa club landowner. Talk to us more about that, and also about the fact that the Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant said that they have suspended 3 police officers in connection with the case, and that the police officers from Goa will be travelling to Thailand soon.
That's right, Rahisha. If you see, since the beginning, what we have been seeing that there were multiple compliances which was supposed to be fulfilled. At that point in time, when these both the brothers basically and Mr. Alok Gupta took this space on rent of the Birch Club at that
I'll have to stop you there, Akhil. My colleague Paras is now talking to the Goa Chief Minister. Take a listen.
रिव्यू लिया है और रिव्यू लेने के बाद यानी मैं तो द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गोवा पुलिस और बाकी सभी यानी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के एजेंसीज के थ्रू इनको हमने वहाँ से जल्दी ही अभी द हेल्प ऑफ देम उठा के उनको हम लेके आएंगे।
सर, इस पूरे मामले में आज कोर्ट में एंटीसिपेटरी बेल के लिए अप्लाई किया था, उसमें गोवा सरकार पर जो है
हमारे सीनियर काउंसिल वहाँ पे हमें गोवा की केस स्टैंड कर रहे हैं। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि उनको बेल नहीं मिलेगी।
सर, गोवा से कोई पुलिस ऑफिसर थाईलैंड जाएगा? कोई इस दिन से
बिल्कुल गोवा की टीम जाएगी।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए। सर, गोवा के मुख्यमंत्री प्रमोद सावंत सर हमारे साथ थे। उनका कहना है कि जिन लोगों ने गुनाह किया है हम जो है उनको सजा जरूर देंगे और जल्द ही दोनों लूथरा ब्रदर्स को जो है वो गोवा लाया जाएगा और यहाँ पे कार्रवाई शुरू की जाएगी। गोवा से कैमरामैन संदेश बैकर के साथ पारस दामा, NDTV इंडिया के लिए।
All right, next up, my colleague Tejshri has filed this ground report from Thailand on the Luthra brothers being nabbed. Take a look.
Well, NDTV is reporting just outside the Phuket Immigration Detention Center. Those are the exclusive pictures that we are getting you from Ground Zero. That's the Phuket Immigration. You can read Phuket Immigration Detention Center, and here only both the brothers, Saurabh Luthra and Gaurav Luthra, have been kept in detention. Remember that these are the only exclusive pictures that you're watching on your television screens right now on NDTV. Remember that from here they will be taken to be produced in the court. Next remains to be seen that what happens in the deportation. Remember that when they will be deported, the Indian officials will be asking them tough questions as to where were they, why did they fled the country in such a dramatic manner, and why they were hiding. But behind me are the pictures of the detention center, and from this particular detention center, which you can see, it's a highly sensitive zone, very secured area. The barbed wires are also put up over here so that no one can get an easy access. Those are the barbed wires, and if the entry is very much restricted over here. You can see that is also written restricted area, authorized personnel only, and no one can go inside until unless you have the authority to go inside. But that's the exclusive report that you are bringing from the detention center here in Phuket.
All right, let's now tell you about how 42 companies linked to the Luthra brothers now under the lens. We'll tell you more about the shell company web of the Luthra brothers. Now, 42 companies linked to one Delhi address. 2590 ground floor, Hudson Line, Northwest Delhi. These are some of the addresses of these companies. But the question is that 42 companies, same directors and multiple dormant entities. Apart from that, they also claim outlets in Phuket, but no operational outlet, no verified address, and of course, no customer reviews. Let's also now tell you what all these documents reveal. They reveal that there are many companies, but there are no active operations there. There's heavy branding versus zero financial footprint. All these revelations further led to the fact of tax evasion and money laundering of the Luthra brothers. Lastly, corporate trail does not match the business claims of the Luthra brothers. Let's also now tell you about how there are new details which are emerging in the deadly Goa club fire case, raising serious questions about the operations and the network behind Birch by Romeo Lane club there in North Goa. Sources say a web of proxy arrangements, questionable documentation, and possible attempts to distance key accused from the day-to-day functioning of the club. Our next report getting the latest on this.
As investigation deepens, a web of concealment and proxy management is unraveling. Sources tell NDTV that Saurabh Luthra, one of the owners of Birch by Romeo Lane, was allegedly using a mobile phone and SIM card registered in another person's name, a resident of Delhi's Burari area. Investigators are now probing whether this individual is linked to Luthra's staff and whether the arrangement was used to mask the accused's communication trail. But that's not all. Sources revealed that multiple club-related documents, including crucial operational paperwork, were allegedly prepared in the name of Bharat. The Luthra brothers is the driver, projecting him as the operational head of the club. Bharat has already been arrested by the Goa police, raising sharp questions over whether employees were used as fall guys, while real control stayed with the owners. Investigating agencies are now examining whether this structure was intentionally designed to create legal buffer, shielding the Luthra brothers from accountability in case of scrutiny or disaster. The tragedy itself was catastrophic. A fire tore through the nightclub, killing 25 people, most due to suffocation, exposing shocking lapses in fire safety, emergency exits, and crowd management. Now, with fresh revelations of proxy documentation, concealed identities, and questionable operational chains, the investigation has widened. From how the fire happened to who controlled the business behind closed doors. Authorities are closely analyzing financial records, communication logs, and ownership trails to determine whether this was systemic evasion, not negligence. NDTV Bureau Report.
Well, NDTV spoke to Bhavna Joshi, a survivor who lost 4 of her family members in the Goa tragedy. She had gone to Goa with her husband and 3 sisters. Well, she was the only one to return. Listen in to her anger and her anguish.
जितनी भी उन्होंने मतलब इरिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिखाई है मैम, उस क्लब के अंदर कोई भी सेफ्टी अलार्म नहीं था, कोई भी फायर अलार्म नहीं था, कोई भी इमरजेंसी एग्जिट डोर नहीं था मैम, वहाँ पे कोई भी आग बुझाने का कोई भी वहाँ पे सेफ्टी नहीं थी, कोई भी इंतजाम नहीं था। मेरे अंदर इतना आक्रोश है कि अगर मेरा बस चले तो मैं अभी उनको पकड़ के अभी के अभी मैं उनको मार डालूं, मतलब इतना आक्रोश है मेरे अंदर, क्योंकि मेरी पूरी लाइफ खत्म कर दी, मेरी पूरी लाइफ, मेरा परिवार खत्म कर दिया उन लोगों ने एक झटके में। एक छोटी सी लापरवाही की वजह से मेरा पूरा परिवार चला गया। अगर ये चीजें सेफ्टी प्रोटोकॉल्स फॉलो करते तो मैम आज ये हादसा नहीं होता। अगर उसी टाइम एट अ टाइम वहां पे उनके स्टाफ वाले अगर आग को बुझाने की कोशिश करते तो इतना बड़ा हादसा मैम होता ही नहीं। बट सबको पहले अपनी जान बचानी है, बाकी लोगों को मरते छोड़ देना है। इतना मतलब आगे लोग वहाँ के गवर्नमेंट के आगे, वहाँ के लोगों के आगे गिड़गिड़ाती रही, बस मैं बोलती रही कि मेरी हेल्प करो, हेल्प करो, हेल्प करो, बट किसी ने, एक सिंगल पर्सन ने मेरी कोई हेल्प नहीं की मैम वहाँ।
Well, the brothers are now facing an FIR under multiple sections. The Luthra brothers, Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, they have lived a lavish lifestyle. Of course, being owners of multiple clubs and restaurants. Here's a report on what we know about the Goa nightclub owners.
Nightlife glamour and glitz. That's the image Romeo Lane built for itself. But behind the bright lights and celebrity photos is a tragedy that has shocked the nation. 25 people have died in a fire at one of their clubs in Goa. The spotlight now turns to its owners, Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, and their extravagant world. The Luthra brothers weren't unknowns in the party circuit. Their brand, Romeo Lane, expanded quickly from Delhi to Goa, promising a luxe, high-energy nightlife experience. Their social media presence seemed to confirm the hype. Holiday pictures, private dinners, celebrity selfies. Among the faces seen alongside them, big names of Bollywood and pop culture. Actors like Jacqueline Fernandez, along with high-profile party scenes enjoying champagne and glamour. To many, Romeo Lane was the kind of place you go to be seen. Entry was more than just a reservation. It was a ticket to a world of influencers, nightlife, and media-worthy moments. The Luthras, enjoying the trappings of success, seemed to curate not just a club, but a lifestyle. Their posts showed destinations abroad, luxurious living, images that screamed elite. But behind the glamour hid serious risks. The recent fire at their club in Arpora, North Goa, at Birch by Romeo Lane, claimed 25 lives. Initial investigation suggests the blaze was triggered by fireworks used during a performance. The club's wooden interiors, narrow exits, and lack of proper safety clearances turned what might have been a festive night into a disaster. For years, Romeo Lane stood for nightlife aspirations, for hangouts with Bollywood bigwigs, for weekend escapes, for being part of an in-crowd. The Luthras curated an image that many envied. But now, in the flames of Arpora, that dream is shattered. As investigations begin, the world watches to see but the accountability will match the glamour that once hid behind those club doors. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Let's now tell you about how politics has now broken over the Luthra brothers. BJP maintains that Luthra brothers' detention in Thailand shows that under the Modi government, criminals cannot hide anywhere in the world. However, the opposition continues to target the government, asking how were the Luthra brothers allowed to leave the country in the first place after the massive fire that broke out at the Birch Romeo Lane club in North Goa. Listen in to the political reactions. But before that, some breaking news coming in at this point of time. That's the court's verdict at this point of time that we were talking about. The court has clearly pronounced no relief for Luthra brothers. The Delhi court has rejected bail plea of Luthra brothers. They've now moved court for anticipatory transit bail. This, of course, comes after the Luthra brothers went to the court for anticipatory bail plea. But the latest coming in at this point of time is that there is no relief for the Luthra brothers after the massive fire at their club in Goa, which claimed the life of at least 25 people. For more on this, my colleague Nupur is now joining me live. Nupur, the court has pronounced its verdict saying that there will be no relief for the Luthra brothers. Get us up to speed on the verdict of the court.
Breaking news as the Delhi court, Rohini court has rejected both the petitions filed by Saurabh Luthra and Gaurav, both the Luthra brothers. The court has rejected. Court has refused to grant them any relief, and it is in fact we are yet to receive the detained order copy. But there was as we had earlier reported, there was a long argument from both the sides. Both the sides had in fact requested court to grant them bail, but for now the judge has pronounced this order that both the anticipatory transit bail plea stands cancelled.
Right, Nupur, this of course comes after they were seeking anticipatory bail plea, but the court earlier clearly said that the Luthra brothers had purposely fled India and that there will be no relief. But the latest coming in is that the Delhi court has rejected the anticipatory bail plea of Luthra brothers, which has now been rejected. Nupur, get us up to speed, but what kind of actions can we expect next with the fact that the Luthra brothers will be deported back to India in the span of next 24 hours?
Well, this actually clears the way for their arrest post-detention. Now, as we have earlier also reported that they were detained in Thailand, and now there are preparations on to get them back to India. Now, since there is no anticipatory bail, that is pre-arrest bail for them from the Delhi court, now they can only expect arrest from the police authorities. It could be Goa police, it could be the Delhi police. It will be important to see that from which airport they are brought back to the country, and accordingly the Goa police will take their custody from there on. So there is no barrier in front of the police in arresting them for now.
This of course comes short while ago. The Goa Chief Minister also said that the Luthra brothers will be brought back to Goa and that a team of the Goa police and CBI will be travelling to Thailand. But with this no relief and with the anticipatory bail plea of the Luthra brothers being rejected, you've clearly pointed out that the route for the arrest of the Luthra brothers is clear with no obstacles in the way.
Yes, of course, there is no obstacle as for now. The Luthra brothers will have to surrender to the police, as we have seen that they are being taken into the custody. They are being deported back to the country. Now from the airport itself, they can be taken into the custody for further interrogation. Remember, the Goa police has time and again pressed for a custodial interrogation. Today also in the hearing, the senior counsel appearing for the Goa prosecution repeatedly said that there should be no relief for the two brothers, as this this was a clear attempt by them to evade accountability, evade authorities, and as they notably fled the country within 40 minutes of the news breaking out of fire at their restaurant in Goa. And that's why they said that it was a planned move by them and not some business trip as they are claiming to be on. As remember, the Luthra brothers had claimed that the trip was a spontaneous trip and not planned according to the fire incident. They had argued in court that they have proved to show that they are establishing businesses in Phuket, and that's why they were there in the Phuket, and they have history of planning such short notice trips, and it had nothing to do with the fire incident. But clearly the court was not convinced with their arguments and has now rejected any kind of relief for them from the Delhi court.
Right, Nupur, that's the latest coming in. The NDTV has broken this news first. The Delhi court has rejected anticipatory plea of the Luthra brothers, and they will be now deported from Thailand. Nupur, thanks for getting us the latest on that.